Alright, as with tradition, it is time to play Devil May Cry 2. If you guys haven't seen Devil May Cry 1, the links will be down below, but let's get started. We're gonna start with Dante and the Lucia. Both on DMD, which I really don't want to do. There's a lot to talk about in this game before I start, but we'll just cover through it as we go. Cool. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Like, yo, if you play this game for the first time and that's the first time you've seen the intro, or no, you see the intro before you play, you're like, yo, this is so cool, man. Oh man, I love Devil May Cry 1. It's like, even if you haven't played Devil May Cry 1, like, the intro is okay, you know? You get like this big open world kind of feeling with like the sort of the skyscraper shots. You get like the multiple bosses and you get two different characters, Devil Trigger. Like, it looks pretty cool, right? There's a lot of ideas in this game. Okay, to summarize Devil May Cry 2, there's a lot of good ideas and concepts, but they're just poorly executed. I'm not gonna sort of bush around that bush or whatever the fucking saying is. And you can also play Trish if you have beaten both characters on hard or just one of the characters, I think. But we're gonna do. And you get different costumes, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna begin. Dante Must Die mode. Yeah. Oh, there's so many things I want to talk about that I feel like is important to know before you play this game, but let's just get on with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. Let's go. Let's rock. Let's rock!
In a time long since past, in an age of darkness, when the earth was overrun with demons, and humans were powerless under their rule. Humanity's hope lived in a demon named Sparda. With a spirit unlike any other, and wielding the sword that bore his own name, Sparda eradicated the demons. Now, the legend of Sparda has been inherited by his son, the demon slayer, Dante.
called?
Till next time, son of Sparta.
I don't get it. I'm not gonna try to shit on this game too much. I'm just gonna try to be fair about it, but it's like, you know, in the beginning, it's supposed to be mysterious, you know? Okay, so we'll go along with that. You know, you got this chick, you got this dude. We're a bit familiar with Dante. Toward the north, the hunter of dark blood will realize his destiny. Guidepost for the Hunters Chapter 1, Clause 3. But you know what, let's go. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, Devil May Cry 2, DMD, let's go. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot of the combat mechanics that I really want to go over, but I'm honestly going to be going over for like an hour if I don't actually show it during combat. A lot of this game is really ranged weapon orientated. There's a lot of enemies that you can't really hit with the melee weapon. There's not a lot of moves that you can hit with the swords. And Dante has different weapons, but they're all swords. You know, maybe longer range, a little bit less damage, right? More damage but shorter range, rebelling for balance. It honestly doesn't seem like it makes too much of a difference. Vendetta just by text seems like it does more damage, so that's why I stick with it. Right? You still have your stinger. Fucking cutscenes. I apologize in advance, but I'm gonna be commentating a lot over the some of the cutscenes just because there's not a lot going on audio-wise. It's just like just the visuals and shit. So like the first enemy, right? The Agonophinus. I think Agonophinus isn't too bad. But like, look, you know, you have the first enemies that spawn, right? I'm just gonna like, just fucking go away. I'm just gonna fuck off out of there. There's honestly no point. When I say there's no point, I fucking mean it. There really is no point. I'm gonna rush this game so fucking fast. If you enter through this door, if you press circle or square, I think there is a secret mission. And basically how this game does secret missions, it's like sort of a Gauntlet Bloody Palace style where you just fight a bunch of enemies and then just collect your blue orb after every 2 secret missions, basically. But like, as you can already see, the level design is a lot bigger than each corridor, each room in Devil May Cry 1, right? This is just one long neighborhood streetway that we're just traversing across. But I'm just running past them. It's not mandatory, you know? It's sort of like an empty void that just... It's sort of empty by design. Now this area is mandatory, so I'm gonna get to show a little bit of combat here. So you have your typical 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get hit in the back. That's what you want to do. You want to get hit. You don't want to have a perfect run because there's no such thing as a perfect run in this game. You have Stinger as well. There is an evade button, right? Circle. So like, it's pretty cool, you know? You can extend the stylish meter as long as you want, as long as you're rolling, which is kind of evading, provided you don't get hit and actually do attack every now and then. If anybody's ever played Ninja Gaiden, like, you know how the combo movesets, how they do it in that game is based on you pressing the analog stick in any direction during certain attack strings, right? Whether it's square or circle, like heavy or light. What the fuck, man? Come on. Oh, I'm sorry, like... I thought about summarizing everything this game has to offer in terms of mechanics and combat, but it honestly takes me an hour to just cover everything that is pretty much wrong in this game. Or just doesn't work. Like, there's a lot of ideas, it just doesn't really work in the Devil May Cry format. It tries to be like, I don't know. I don't know, man. See, like, you think it's over, and then the enemies spawn, like, it's... the enemies spawn so fucking slow. So you have air combos in this game, which is pretty new, right? But that's all you have. While you're locked on, by holding R1, if you launch them up and just spam triangle 3 times, you get this basic combo. If you do it without locking on, you just get the Helm Diver. Which is okay. That's pretty cool in that sense, you know? Dante doesn't have a different weapon. He doesn't have the gauntlets or boots to sort of freshen up the gameplay. You know, fast, quick attacks versus strong and slow, right? So they sort of gave him different movesets. And like I was saying with the Ninja Gaiden stuff, I'll just show it here in a sec, right? You have your typical 1, 2, 3, 4, right? In other games, you have like your 1, 2, and then delayed attacks, right? But they don't have that in this game. They have the analog direction mentality where if you press it during an attack string, you'll get different attacks. So if I hold forward to begin with, or just any direction, right? Instead of the 1, 2, 3, 4, he gets the 1, 2, 3. Or if I do it after the second hit, right, and hold an analog stick in any direction there, he gets the 6 hit. Sorry, he gets the 6 hit here. Right, that's on the second one. But if I held the direction on the third hit, he gets that. So it's kind of cool. But the issue is that it doesn't really matter. There's no damage difference. Like, most attacks all do the same amount of damage. It's just, you know. And I think I have to kill them all, right? Yeah, I do. Because that's apparently the door to get out of here, and you can't tell. Visually, like, it's kind of misleading, but I'm gonna switch over to the quick card here, just because it's cooler. So Devil Trigger Dante in this game, I think, is actually really cool. Because he has like the big Gundam fat wings, you know, the different elemental amulets actually change the sort of the attack designs. I'll go over to the combos in a second. So like even with Devil Trigger, he has different attacks depending on when you hold the analog stick, like in a direction. The only quick reference is Ninja Gaiden. That's the only one that I can think of. And Dante Must Die mode, they do Devil Trigger, right? But despite the cool movesets that they have in this game, like, this game is so hit and run weapon, ranged weapon orientated. It's really weird. Like, you're obviously gonna do more damage if you combo an enemy, but just the AI patterns in this game, you're honestly better off not getting close and just spamming from afar. And just constantly evading and kiting. That's pretty much it. Rocket Launcher is a really stupidly strong weapon in this game. I don't know why they made it so strong and made the melees very weak. Sorry, I'm really trying to cover a lot of ground, but there's quite a bit that I guess I could just summarize it at the very end. I don't know. But this fighting style that I'm doing right now, where I'm just kiting and just sort of knocking them back, shooting them again, is pretty much like 99% of the run, honestly. Like, a lot of the bosses too, they're pretty bland. If you try to just go up there and hit them, they don't really give you an opportunity to sort of stun lock them. Like, nothing like Nilo Angelo, where after you sort of dodge his attacks, and he kind of has like that taunting pose where you can sort of stun lock him for a bit, right? All the bosses have a ton of poise, and they just kind of slugfest back at you. And that is a key. That is a key that came out of absolutely fucking nowhere. You can unlock a door. Wow, I can unlock a door. And this is the door. It doesn't even look like a door. Like, seriously? Hey, you want to see something cool? You jump, right? But you can also double jump, which is really cool. But you can jump, shoot, shoot. You can even go even higher, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Oh, there's another cool thing with the movesets, which actually doesn't do that much difference, and you're wasting a lot more time. It's a lot slower. So with the shotgun equipped, if you press the shotgun, if you shoot after an attack, right, you do different movesets. Oh, you have to be locking on though. You have to hold R1 and be locked on to do it, right? So you attack once, shoot. So it's kind of like a side maneuver kind of thing. It's kind of okay. 1, 2. It's kind of cool too. 1, 2, 3. But I've tried testing out the damage differences, and it's honestly just like self-satisfaction, stylish points, if anything. If you follow the main road here, right, going in between the houses, I'm pretty sure that you can get into a skirmish with a bunch of enemies. I'm not sure if they're mandatory or not, I don't remember, but if you just go on the rooftops here, you can avoid everything. You just avoid everything. It just blows up for no reason. And that's mission 1. Like, I don't understand this game. I don't. You know, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be mysterious, you know? It's sort of setting out the puzzles and you have to kind of like connect them together, you know? But the way they introduce the world, I don't think has a good foundation to establish a strong story. There's so many questions and you're just like asking yourself, what the fuck am I doing with my life, man? So we'll keep it fair. I've played this game so I know, but we'll do a fair run through this game.
Where's Mathieu? Mathieu? Mathieu?
Good grief. They really made a big mess, didn't they? It sure took him a while to find this place. Oh, you have arrived, son of Sparta.
You knew him?
Oh, yes. We are the guardians of this land, Vidumali. Our clan once fought against the demons with Sparta, son of Sparta. We must ask this favor of you. You see, there's a man who's transformed our land into a demon's paradise. His name is Arius. And although he is the president of an international public corporation, he uses the demon power. Please, deal with Arius and his master for us.
Looks like it's your lucky day.
Wonderful! I am very pleased. It leads to a harbor. If you are successful, I will tell you a story about your father, son of Sparta.
So the biggest question right now is that why we're here in the first place. You know, in the intro, like Dante is killing the harpies, returns the little amulet thing back to the girl. It's like, I'll see you soon, Dante. And then we follow her for some reason, and it's like now we have a motivation to hunt down the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, what was the motivation for Dante coming here in the first place? In the first game, it's established that because of Trish that meets him in the shop, you know, this is a door, by the way, you have to hit it, it's really weird. But yeah, no, Trish tells you that Mundus Island, you know, underworld, shit like that. Devil May Cry 3, Arkham shows up, you know, like meets him at the shop kind of thing. No, just avoid that. There's, oh my fucking god. Okay, there's gonna be so many fights that I'm just gonna run past. There's so many things I'm just gonna ignore. Look at the size of this fucking area, man. There's not one area in Devil May Cry 1, with the exception of maybe the Colosseum and outside the Colosseum area, that's as big as this area. Like, look, enemy spawn, there's a bunch of traps there too, right? Just run past. Sorry, there might be people that actually enjoy this game, which I honestly don't think that exists. But I'm gonna just shit on this fucking game and get it over with. It's tradition. I have to play all the games on DMD. Oh wow. Oh wow. So basically like the different attacks where you hold the direction, right? Like the 1, 2, 3 is like the fastest thing to go for these. What? That's bullshit. You know, I might not actually get it. Oh, seriously? There we go. That roll would have been the death of me. So, I know that, like, Devil May Cry 3 and 4, you know, 1, Dante is like the one that we love. You know, he's kind of cocky. He talks back. He kind of trolls in the action sequences, right? This one's more the silent, cool hero that looks a lot like my history professor. But, you know, they tried. For its time, they tried. You know, I don't think they really meant it to connect with number 1, other than sort of the backstory with, no, it was supposed to be connected. Yeah, you know, the backstory, origin, son of Sparta. You know, he has a shop and everything. He's sort of like a hired gun. Right? But the coin thing, like, since when was he like a gambler? Okay, I need to tell you something real quick. If I can find it. So the problem with this game is that they don't tell you the controls. They don't really tell you the controls, and the biggest, most problematic thing in this game is the lock-on feature. It's an automatic lock-on feature. Even if I'm not locking onto an enemy manually, if I hold R1, boom, right? But if even if I don't hold onto it manually, whenever you attack in that direction. So let's say you wanted to just ignore all these fucking enemies. These ones particularly are really easy to kill. Ladies and gents, Devil May Cry 2 in a nutshell, right? But imagine if there were a lot more annoying enemies and you just really wanted to hit this door 5 times. But every time you hit, you're facing in the wrong direction. And that was an auto lock-on right there, right? You're facing in the wrong direction when you attack. What I just found out recently, which fucking pissed me off because I played through this game so many times to get to DMD, and I didn't know this feature and I had to kill every single fucking enemy on the way, was that there's an unlocking feature, a D-lock, you could say, and you hold R2, or the right trigger. It's not noticeable, but look, right? If I'm facing a little bit away and I attack, he faces the door automatically. If I hold that button, he doesn't lock on. So there's an unlocking feature in this game, which is fucking terrible by design, because no one fucking knows this shit when they play for the first time. Nobody goes into a fight thinking, yeah, I want to unlock. I want to not lock onto an enemy. I'm like, you're gonna lock onto the fucking enemy, and you're gonna fucking attack, right? I'll show you an example right here. If I can see, I'm locked on, right? I attack, it goes in that direction. I want to attack a door right away. No, it goes in that direction. You hold R2, you're not locked on anymore. For me, like, finding this shit out, thanks to the fucking internet, was a fucking lifesaver for me. And the door's not even open. I missed one. The enemy models and designs are pretty cool, but their attacks are really bland. A lot of it is just, you just run past, right? You can just keep spamming your rocket launcher. This shit right here, you can't lock onto this no matter what. Maybe if you're like right here, but no. But you're still locking onto the fucking enemies, right? That is such a big flaw in the game design because it's really tedious, man. You think there's 3 pyromancers here? No, you kill them, there's like 6 more. There's like 6 more. It's honestly just a time waster. And because it's DMD, right? They're gonna activate double trigger because you can't hit them fast enough. They have a lot of poise. And they just simply get in your way. But because you can unlock, which I think should have been the default, just manually aim, sort of face the direction manually, which is kind of difficult to do at times. The fucking... Come on. There we go. But you know what I mean. If you ever play Devil May Cry 2, you understand how painful this game is because of its auto lock-on feature. You can have an auto lock-on feature, but not in the way they do it in Devil May Cry 2. Because it fucking magnets your attacks towards the enemies no matter how far you are. I want to do a stinger through the door. Boom, I'm facing away and I'm doing high time, right? Now this part here, you know, shoot the enemies a couple times, you know, and then just run away. Oh, this is the part. This is the part where you're supposed to get the flying amulet and then just fly up. flying is actually not that bad in this game. You know, a lot of it is pretty tedious. You're never really going to use it in a fight, however. That's kind of like the missed opportunity. There's not a lot of scenarios where you actually use it. It's mainly just for traversing through the stage and everything, right? So the game will have to supply you with a DT fountain. Like, they have to do it. Otherwise, you can't progress through the game. You can't double jump. You can't do the shoot up in the air, get even more height, jump, shoot up in the air, this shit. And like I said before, like if you hold R1 while you're targeting and you attack in the air, you do a 3-hit attack. Which kind of like, I don't know, like the enemies don't get juggled really easily in this game. It may feel like I'm rushing it by skipping a lot of the fights, but honestly, the combat gets really repetitive, and even just looking at it can be boring because you're doing the same thing over and over. So I'm just gonna try to just focus on progressing the story for now. A lot of the boss fights too, a lot of the bigger enemies like the Goatling, which I'm forever locked onto here unless I hold R2, which is fucking amazing, man. You can unlock in this game. Just kite and run. Like, this guy has so much poise, like there's really no need for you to do melee. Like, you're gonna get into a slugfest and then you're gonna get hit. You're gonna lose a lot of HP. There is no taunting in this game. If there is, I haven't found out in all my time of playing this game. There is no taunting. Door's gonna open because I killed the one Goatling. Not the other enemies. The other enemies don't fucking matter. And it's boss fight coming up. What is that? The orangutan. Orangera. I don't personally hate Dante's sort of silent attitude in this game. It's just that if this is your only Devil May Cry game that you've ever played, or if this is the only game that you've ever played, it's not that bad. It's kind of bland though, because the bosses, they're recyclable. They don't have personalities. They don't, you know, like Phantom is the first boss, right? The guy is like, who are you? I smell Sparta. You're not human, are you? And then like Griffin shows up. I'm gonna kill you for Mundus, bitch. I'm gonna take you down. There's so much personality. And then this guy shows up, right? And I think this guy's the first boss, right? He's just there, you know? He's just there. I haven't done one single melee attack, and I'm just kiting away with the evade button. I'm just spamming rocket launch because honestly, this is the safest thing. If you're going in for a melee, like, oh my fucking god, dude, you're gonna kill yourself, man. And meleeing is like, it's kind of slow. It's just kind of slow and painful. And look, I'm targeting onto the fucking little minions here automatically, which is kind of shit. But you can change. You can lock on and press the L3 analog, which is nice. I'm glad that they have it. But sometimes the auto-locking feature, like, can be really annoying because, you know the special movesets with the melee weapon, right? Because you're holding in a direction when you do the certain attacks, it's really hard to do it while you're locked on because the game registers a stinger, right? Or high time. While you're locked on, while you're manually locked on to an opponent, you can't do the special moves like the 3-hit, 6-hit, or the launcher. It's impossible unless you unlock for a quick second to get the analog in, and analog direction in, and then manually lock on. But speaking of the different movesets, right? Dante still has a couple different ones while in Devil Trigger. That's one of my favorites. It's the 2-hit and the analog attack, as I like to call it, because I'm not sure if there is a terminology for the it's hard to explain, you know what I mean? You press triangle 2 times, and then before you hit the third one, you have to be pressing. What the fuck is his arm, dude? What the hell? Sorry, yeah, but you get what I mean. A lot of times people play this game by just doing SMG. This is how you play Devil May Cry 2. Honestly, you go up in the air, you tag, and then you attack. Just for stylish points, I'm gonna try to go for a bit of melee. But like, I'm telling you, it doesn't even have to be on DMD. Like, I've tried calculating the damage. It's honestly less DPS because you're so slow. The attacks are just so slow. You recover it from it very slowly. It's mainly just for stylish points, but really the stylish meter in this game is such a joke, man. Like, I could be doing this all day, and that C will never decrease. Half the time I'm dodging attacks, right? So it just increases. I could probably get it to S at this point, man. Look. Like, oh my god, it's so easy getting an S, man. No! And a key comes out of nowhere. Like, somebody up there in the sky is just providing me with a fucking key when I defeat a boss. Like, I just don't understand, man. Hey man, why are you playing this game if you hate it so much? Well, honestly, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily hate it, and this is the door that you need to open with the key. It's not that, it's like, you wouldn't fucking know. You would maybe try that door, maybe this door. And there are random secret missions on just random fucking entryways. Even this door. The design of the levels in this game is very ambiguous. Like, in Devil May Cry 1, it was one big area with a lot of small corridors in between, right? And a lot of locked passageways. But in this game, it's the exact opposite. It's just one long hallway with each mission, right, basically? But there's less detail. It's really bland. Like, there's a lot of walls, there's a lot of houses that just repeat itself, but they don't interact with you. It's just there to fill up space.